this video, we're going to talk about one of the most important foundations of your Facebook ad setup, which is location and demographic targeting. You first need to set your basic audience settings correctly. This includes things like your location, age, gender, and even sometimes language. Now let's go ahead to the ad set. So I'm inside the example ad account with a campaign already created. So here we are inside the ad set level, which is just a blank one. And now we're going to scroll down to the audience section. This is where all the targeting happens. And don't worry about the other settings for now. Things like delivery settings will be covered later in another video. So now let's say if you're a local business, this applies if your product or service can only be sold or delivered to people within a certain local area. For example, if you live in the UK and you run a local service-based business, maybe a gym, salon, or home service, you'd want to type your town or city into the location box and then select the radius inside it. So your radius is going to depend on two things. Number one is how far you are willing to travel if you go to the client. And the second one is how far customers are willing to travel to you. So for example, gym people don't like traveling far. Usually a small radius is perfect for that. And things like special services, unique clients, or niche services, people may travel further. So Facebook default is usually 25 miles or 40 kilometers, which is often too large. But for local businesses, 15 to 25 miles is more realistic. So if you choose a smaller radius, you might see a smaller audience size, and that's completely fine. You only want people who can realistically become customers. Now, the second example, if you sell nationally. So if your product or service can be sold anywhere in the country, you want to go ahead and target the entire country. So for example, if you sell across the whole UK, select the United Kingdom and not only the London or Manchester. And don't try to guess which cities perform better. Let Facebook's algorithm learn to find the best customers for you. Now, the third scenario, if you sell internationally. So if your business can sell worldwide, don't target many countries at the start. Start with one primary country, which is the one you know best or already have customers in. Once your campaign performs well, then you can expand. So example scenario, if your business has clients in different countries, but most are in the UK, followed by the US, start with the UK first. Then once the campaign performs well, you want to expand to the US, Canada, Australia, etc. If you already have a successful ad history in multiple countries, then you can start broader. Now let's go and take a look at the age targeting. Choose the age range that fits your typical customer, but keep it slightly wider so Facebook has room to optimize. So for example, if your most customers are between 30 to 45 years old, don't choose just that narrow range. A better starting point would be things like 25 to 50 or even 25 to 55 years old. And why is that? Because Facebook will naturally show your ads more to the age groups that convert best, but you don't miss potential customers slightly outside of your core range. So in the gender targeting, most of the time you want to select or choose all genders. Only select one gender if at least 80 to 90% of your customers are consistently that gender. So for example, if 90% of your customers are women, then choose women only. But if it's 70% women and 30% women, I recommend you keep all because you don't want to miss on that 30%. So the reason to that is that even if your product is mainly for women, men might slightly buy it as a gift and vice versa. So Facebook will automatically deliver more to the gender that performs best. So don't worry about that because the algorithm can take care of this. Now, as you narrow your audience using age and gender, your audience size will decrease, and that's normal. If later it becomes too small after adding interests, you can come back and widen these settings again. Now, in the language targeting, usually leave this as all languages, but only adjust this if language is specifically relevant to your targeting. So for example, if you want to target French-speaking people in Canada, then choose only French. If your content or product is only for English speakers, then you want to choose English. So it's an optional filter to better refine your audience if needed. The basic foundation you must set up before moving into more advanced targeting methods. Next, we'll move on to cold targeting and picking the right audience and ideal size. With that said, I'll see you in the next one.